But
everything myself these days, huh? Deadly and divine, craved by gods and cursed by the widow of time. Bringer of miracles and hexes, bearer of chaos and love. Sweet flesh and poisonous seeds, what secrets does the apple behold? I cannot help but wonder. It is remarkable how closely the history of the apple tree is linked to that of man, said Thoreau. But why? The past is an orchard of apples and tails. This heart-shaped fruit is the legacy of our frail and feeble race. Confess! Confess your truth! Tell me what lies under the red cloak that hides your white heart. Tell me why men have gone mad, have killed and betrayed just because of you. Or else I shall remain in the darkness of ignorance for an eternity. Ignorance is bliss, they say, but I seek to grasp the gnarled roots of this damned riddle. The branches of the apple tree are the golden threads of destiny, and I am a seamstress trying to unravel and stitch a skein of fate and happenstance. Where is my needle? Here. Shall we begin?
I am the most beautiful goddess. Give me the golden apple pears, and don't be so foolish. Or I can promise you palaces and jewels, which is worthy of a god. Don't you long for power, to conquer over distant lands and command over the king and beggar alike? An empire as glorious as Phoenix reborn, and as boundless as the night sky.
Bearer of fire and destruction, flame of fallen grace. Listen to me, Prince of Troy. Power is fragile, and wealth is a changing tide. It speaks highly of a man to judge sagely, not to fall into the incautious temptation of ambition. If you give me the apple, all the wisdom in heaven and earth shall be yours. An intellect shinier than diamonds and brighter than the stars.
What shall I do? The Punisher of the skies is watching me from his throne of thunder. I am damned if his rage, fateful and bright as lightning, fall upon me. I am just a humble shepherd, a pawn in this game of theirs. Who am I to judge the beauty of those who live in the great mount, drinking their ambrosia and spilling sweet lies?
Paris, oh, sweet Paris, don't let your wealth make a man happy. Is the secret of joy in the gleam of coins or in the silver gleam of the sword? No, it's not. Love is a force greater than those feeble gifts. Love moves armies and rewrites what fate has written in the stars. What I offer you is this: to marry the most beautiful woman to have grace upon earth, a maiden, delicate as a white dove, and enchanting as a faraway sun.
Do you speak the truth, Aphrodite? My heart is a sparrow trapped in my ribcage, and its wings beat wildly at the sound of such a beautiful love.
Indeed, Paris. I swear by the river's ceaseless flow, and by the coldness of winter snow, that if you give me that apple, she will be the most beautiful of them all.
Then so be it. Hereby I declare you, fair goddess of love and desire, the winner of this fateful trial. Please accept this apple from the garden of the nymphs of the eve, and do not forget the promise that you have made me on this day.
What a dreadful choice. How can an apple start a war? In the rosy and orange brushstrokes of Rubens' paintings, I can see the dawn of doom, the spark of long-lasting fire. Guilty, I pray, the apple is guilty of the bloody battlefields that followed, of the pain and sorrow of the lovers, of the rusted shields and the brutal swords. It starts with an apple and ends with a wooden horse. Declare, O Muse, in what ill-fated hours sprung the fierce strife. You know how it goes. After the legendary war that Homer collected from oral tradition, like ripe apples from a tree, our story continues with the hero and his ship. On a journey to his homeland, the king of Ithaca faced cyclops and sirens, witches and foaming waves. He even descended into the domain of Hades, descended into the underworld, where he met Tantalus,
Is it regret that tears up my flesh and rattles my bones? Blood stains my hands, blood of my son, blood of my kinship. All I see is red, apples and wine, apples and blood. But regret is not what I feel. No. No. It is hunger. Such an insatiable hunger. I was king of everything golden and rich. I feasted on figs and honey, on wheat and meat. After that trick that I attempted against the gods, I now rot in this abyss of famine. The hunger that consumes me is black and endless. Eternal as the punishment I must endure for my hubris. I have a lion trapped in my stomach, roaring inside my guts. If only I could pick an apple from that horrid tree to tame the beast that howls inside of me. But the fleshy purple of plums and heart-shaped apples are out of reach. So close, so far away.
Alas, poor Tantalus, so close to the forbidden fruit, yet so far. Is the apple cursed to only bring pain and suffering? Forbidden fruit! What in heaven am I hissing of? What an evil personification of a piece of fruit! Am I, perhaps, graven by the temptations of Eve?
Daughter Almighty, what have you done? Shame on you, Eve. How could you go against the desires of our Father, he who gave us a soul and formed man from the dust of the ground?
Well, I'm just a part of your rib, so who cares what you think? It's just an apple. You cannot expect to give consciousness and soul to a creature and then restrain its volition.
You're being careless and selfish. What kind of morals do you have if you go around breaking promises and betraying our Father's trust? He gave us everything we could wish for. And this is how you repay him? You are a snake, Eve.
Better a snake than a pig, Adam. I didn't make any promises. Besides, I'm tired. Oh, so tired of living in the Garden of Eden, of hiding in the shadows of innocence. This paradise is nothing. It's brittle as glass. It was bound to shatter.
It seems that the taste of sin still lingers in your mouth, for your rotten tongue curls around rotten lies. I'm afraid you are corrupted by the malevolent whispers of the serpent. Was it worth it, Eve?
It was. Now, are you going to take a bite or keep whining like a scared child?
To think that they were the apple of God's eye until they took a bite of the forbidden fruit. Tales like placing the blame on apples as much as they like placing the blame on women. At least, kind angel escorted those foolish lovers. All's well that ends well. However, if the angel of death comes to take me tonight, will someone kiss my red lips and wake me from eternal sleep, like the girl in the glass coffin, with her skin as pale as snow?
This is the apple of dreams, little nightingale. Your deepest desires will come true if you take a bite. What does your heart long for? A charming prince? A magnificent castle? A sparkly gown? A garden of pink roses? Dream, dream and take a bite. Come on, try.
Why would you give away such a wonder to a stranger in the woods? A lover never plucks the petals of a daisy to see them fall, and a dreamer never blew a sudden deluge just to see the thistledown dance in the wind.
I am old, sweet child. The harshness of cold winters has withered my dreams. My skin is wrinkled like the fallen leaves of autumn, and soon time will turn my bones into dust. But you gleam in the spring of your youth, full of lovely buds of hope, tending shy dreams that sprout like primroses. Why would I waste a wish when I am in the twilight of my life?
Don't say such horrid things. I'm sure you'll see many midnights before your night without the stars. I don't want to steal a dream for you, as if I was a raven holding a shiny trinket. I'm content, living in this lovely cottage covered by ivy and ferns, and with my merry little friends.
Please, I insist. Grant me the wish of granting you a wish.
Thank you. Such kindness is rare as I can speak.
Once in a blue moon and no need for shooting stars, dear. Tell me, what will your wish be?
I wish to live happily ever after.
Ever after, indeed. The beauty of a rose is too fragile. Only the thorns remain when the bleeding petals fall. Now, that I am going to bury our bones under a tomb of roots and oblivion, the silver reflection of my mirror will forever chant my name like a prayer of beauty. Only a kiss of true love can break our everlasting sleep. And who is going to kiss a corpse? Boom.
Moral of the tale: do not trust apples if you desire a happy ending. Pumpkins are carriages and hazelnuts are wishes. But apples are the heralds of death. It is also under the forest green canopy of the apple tree where another of our stories takes place. A story of heroes and feats, tyrants and brave deeds, and of course, apples.
Foul villain and tyrant, this is the end of your long-lasting reign. In the embers of your rule of terror, we shall rise, proud and valiant. I will not bow down to your greedy wishes, nor will I fall to my knees to pray for mercy and compassion. A man is a wolf for a man, and you are the worst of them all, disguised in sheep's skin and bleating lies, where you sink your claws and fangs into innocent prey.
What an arrogant peasant you are. Do you think you can defy me? You can go against my will and remain unpunished? No, that won't do, Tell. The people of this town say you are an incredible archer, that your arrows are singing birds, your crossbow a crescent moon. I don't see it. So let's see if the high praise they grant Raymond had talked. Bring a prey, a wide-eyed fawn, for we ought to prove that they have mastered this heavenly archer.
My son, you bastard! How dare you? He's an innocent child, a sapling. I am the one who's offended your honor. Let him go.
Why such worry? I mean, if you are truly as skilled as the people of this town like to murmur about, then such a small demonstration of your dexterity should be but a problem. You must only strike the apple and not the head.
I trust you, Father. Fear not for my life. I know that your arrows follow the paths of constellations, and that the goddess of wellness guides your hand.
Now or never, Sal.
Anything can happen under an apple tree. Feats of nobility, love confessions, clandestine encounters, and, of course, discovery of something as unseen and magical as butterfly dust.
This apple is a shooting star, a brilliant revelation. The earth has whispered in my ear her visceral and olden song. She has told me about great and invisible forces, about the moon desire, and about all that's tangible.
The leaves of the apple tree plod in the garden of fate as Newton has his epiphany about the laws of gravity. What is it about apples that drives geniuses mad? Despair or elation, revelations and enigmas. The apple is a question without an answer. How can I even pretend to fathom the mysteries of the universe, nay, the apple, if the most brilliant minds were enraptured by its dreamlike secrecy?
After all that I have done, and all the services that I've rendered my great country in this great war, I can't believe that this is how my tale will end. They used and praised my brain until they learned of my heart's longing. I am deaf to the song of the sirens, and so they use their chemicals and hateful words to sink my ship. I am drowning in the ocean blue waves of this hatred and this sadness. I cannot swim, I cannot stay afloat, I cannot reach the shore. It is unbearable.
No one can escape the curse of the apple. And now I feel doomed for even trying to put into words something as whimsical and elusive. Bite by bite, I have eaten the forbidden fruit. All that I can say is that history repeats itself, and that eternity lies in the solitude of an apple. I can't make a judgment like Paris or have a brilliant epiphany like Newton. It's in vain. The apple... The apple is the battle in our minds and the contradiction in our hearts. The apple is an ending, but the apple is a beginning. The apple is a once upon a time. And, of course, the apple is a happily ever after.